What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Mind the Design, where we talk all things art. Long time no see, man, but I missed y'all. But I've had this idea for a while, and being that we're at the midpoint of the year, I figured this is a good time to go ahead and take a look at some of the best and the worst logo rebrands around the world throughout the first 6 months or first two quarters of this year. So let's get into it. I sent a few to myself. That I've seen on the TL, just around, but I'm gonna give it a quick Google search to see what I can find. All right. Should I credit my sources? I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna go 10. And if y'all, oh, the Walmart one, we gotta get into that. But I'm gonna go with 10 logos. And if y'all would like more, let me know. Let me know in the comments and we can run it back. Okay, okay, okay. Let's go down the list. I'm gonna be completely transparent here. I am not familiar with GF Smith. The first logo I don't love, but the rebrand, if that's what this is, and the blue and pink, I hate it. I don't know. Oh, it's supposed to be a smile. Okay. Was the original one supposed to be a smile? Or was that just the way they chose to space their letters? It's a paper company. Okay. Paper company GF Smith dropped one of the sickest logo redesigns and rebrands of 2025. Bold, playful, the new logo turns a decisive new leaf in the paper company's brand strategy. Okay, well, being that it's a paper company, in my humble opinion, I would assume that you want the branding, the marketing, the perception of the brand. Since it's a paper company, you want it to be smooth, sleek, not too flashy, not too creative, not too much thrown in your face at once. However, you do want it bold enough and thick enough pause to to grab attention. That's really what you want, to grab the attention of the consumer and pique their interest. You want them to want to know more about the company. And all of that starts with the first impression of the brand of the business. So I'm gonna try and keep these short. I'm not gonna harp on this too much. The color palette is cool. If they were going for a smiley face, I'm a I'm a I'm gonna dial it back. I said I hated it, but the more I look at it, the more I start to like it. The first one, I could totally see that being a paper company logo with just how it is. It's very even, symmetrical, spaced out pretty evenly. I mean, the first and second line spacings are different, but it's even. Oh, and I see the dot in between GF Smith is like an I. Like the I on the bottom line is a capital, but it can also be a lowercase I with the dot up top, and that splits G and F. That's cool. I see all the intricate details they wanted to intertwine within the logo. Like the more you look at it, you start to see these things. With the era that we're in, with the climate that we are in today's world, especially creatively, I like. First of all, that is monochromatic. It has no color, the original one. I like the color. Um, it gives a bit more of a friendlier vibe, you know what I'm saying? A more welcoming, a more vibrant feeling. And then when you couple that with the smile, with the smiley face that I see here, very well played, G.F. Smith. On to the next one. Eventbrite. I'm very familiar with this one. I even have the app on my phone, so I know how to look the old logo. It'll like animate as soon as you open the app. As far as the font change, I'm not really too sure why. I would say that the first one is hand drawn, and the second one looks more like a font. I mean, the first one could be a font. I don't know. It just looks crafted, it doesn't look like a font. The second one for sure looks like a font. They went with a more royal Victorian Roman type feel to the letters, which I don't really feel matches the aesthetic of what Eventbrite is. It's not really a formal app. It's more of an event, eccentric. I wouldn't say party app, but it is an event app. You get tickets for events, mostly parties from Eventbrite. So I really don't agree with the font change. And also, I don't know if that squiggle right there is that an E? That's cool, I guess. I don't really see the need for this, but I don't hate it. Okay, I don't hate it. Created in partnership with Buck Brand Refresh and Instrument App Redesign. So they partner with they outsource to two companies for a brand refresh and an entire app redesign. I don't update my app, so I obviously didn't see that. I'll have to check it out. Um, Eventbrite's 2025 Glow Up flips the script on event discovery with an updated logo icon, bright new color palette. The color palette looks the same to me, orange and white, but okay. I'm sure they got new animations and app updates, of course. One of the biggest logo design trends this year is making their icon the star of the show. Oh, that's fire. That's fire. Okay. My fault. My fault. This right here is a fact. That is one thing I have noticed. One thing in graphic design is that you have to follow the trends. You have to know what's hot, what all companies are leaning into. And I hate to say it, but it's kind of a follower game. Once one company does it, or a few, and they have major success with the way that they rebranded or restructured or whatever they changed within their business, and it becomes well known how they did it, what they did, and what they plan to do moving forward, companies will follow, and boom, you have a new design trend. So I have seen a lot of these companies making their logo kind of the forefront of their brand identity versus a word mark right here. We have the Eventbrite. The E was what their icon was. The E of the Eventbrite right here is what their icon was, and that's cool. But now that they have kind of a, I guess, logo, what you want to call it, I feel like there's a better word to describe that. But they have a logo, so that is driving their marketing campaigns. That's cool. That's cool. I'm just gonna skip the ones I don't know. Sorry, and I'm gonna go to the ones I do know. Amazon. They haven't updated their logo in 20 years or over 20 years. Wow, excuse me. Um, I'm gonna read first and then I'm gonna give my thoughts because I guess I don't have a lot of thoughts to give, but maybe this will show me something. This major refresh led by Koto, I thought that was Koho from above, introduces a new global typeface, Ember Modern. Very subtle, but they did change the typeface. What I like about them changing the typeface is that it is very true to the original. It doesn't look too far off. Like if I go back up here to Coho, well yeah, let's do Eventbrite. Let's not do Coho. Um, there's a very clear change here, and you can see it. And that's something I noticed off the rip, and I wasn't a fan of. Many people don't look as hard at logos as I do, but that was pretty off-putting to me. And what I like about Amazon is that though they did change the typeface, which again, I don't feel that it's necessary, but I don't work in Amazon. I'm not in their marketing. I don't know what they do. I don't care. They changed the typeface. It's true to the original. It looks about the same. There are subtle changes, but it's not a head scratcher, all right? Brighter colors, friendlier tone, and a unified design system for Amazon's 50 plus sub-brands. I see the color scheme change. I don't like that they went from black to what looks to be a very, very faded and dark, slightly unsaturated blue, maybe. And they made the gold darker. I don't like that. But again, it's subtle enough that you won't really notice. They also made a bit of a change to the arrow's thickness, which I don't mind, and they kept the A to Z, which I feel like is a hallmark and really a trademark from them. It's amazing, the A to Z. 'Cause they pretty much deliver anywhere, everywhere from A to Z. They deliver anything you need from A to Z. Like it's awesome. That's good. I like that they kept the core fundamental design principles that they established within the brand and they're holding on to those as they move forward through these eras. That is underrated. Again, this is just me talking, but when companies take what they've built upon over decades and they just throw it all away and completely refresh. Sometimes it's needed because the business is failing or you need something to change quick or whatever. But when you have a company, a global juggernaut like Amazon, you don't need to change everything. They made a big change, but they're so subtle of changes that it doesn't throw you off. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I like there's a balance in rebranding that I appreciate, and I feel like so far this is the best one that I have seen. Yeah, that's about the same. I like that. Let's see. Walmart. I watched a video on somebody breaking this down and it really gave me a new perspective on it. But I'm gonna read what the good people at Looka had to say about this rebrand. The Walmart logo just added a new chapter to its long history. Announcing its rebrand back in January, the retail giant has updated their entire. Okay, I already know that. The updated branding features a new logo, refreshed color palette, so there was a slight change to the colors, a bold new font, noticeable, and an improved logo icon. Walmart's digital first branding gives the retail giant a fresh contemporary look. While we like it, oh, look at Adobe. Let me scroll back up. Walmart's improved logo and branding look to the future while staying true to its iconic past, keeping the brand relevant without losing its history. The new color palette feels weightier and more engaging, and the bold new font gives the logo a fresh impact. Sorry. Obviously, I wasn't a good reader in school. So, I do like the true blue, so they call it. I like the bold thickness of the font. Like I said, you want to catch eyes, and Walmart has always been a simple company when it comes to branding. They never really do too much. The logo has always been very simple, straight to the point. Um, their word mark is clear, it's concise, it's crisp. I like that they thickened it just a little bit more, just a little bit, not too much. They didn't all caps it. They didn't change the color. They didn't do nothing too crazy. It's good. Also with the Spark Star, whatever this is, they did make it a bit bolder. They rounded it, which I do like. And they brought each of the shapes closer together, which I believes which I believe gives it more of a feeling of cohesion. Also, being that the font is a bit thicker, the logo being amped up in thickness just a bit to match the overall word mark, I feel like just kind of completes it. Um, I like it. I like it. Walmart has changed a lot since I was a kid. Adobe, one of my favorites. Honestly, they've had that little A, I believe, since like 20. I don't want to say 14, but that's been around for a long time. So the fact that they took the logo A out of the box, by the way, great use of negative space. But the fact that they took it out of the box and put it into the actual word mark and up the thickness to match the logo is just chef's kiss. And that bold red and that white, just an excellent contrast. Oh wow. Wait, no, it's not a brand new logo. Really? Did they unveil that this year? I feel like I've seen that way before now. Anyway, they're saying that Adobe unveiled a brand new logo this year in collaboration with Mother Design. Shout out to Mother Design. As we predicted back in 2024, this is the year bold reds make a comeback. Okay. Color plays an important role in the psychology of branding. Perhaps none more than red. That's the fact. Pay attention to the reds in advertisements you see and think about how that makes you feel. I'll get into color theory in another video, but right now, we ain't talking about that. Red is the color of passion, heat, and impulse. It is an interesting color choice for a design brand, maybe, but Adobe is known for its bold red branding. An association is built over a number of years. That's a fact. Why doesn't Luca like it? I hope I'm saying that right. Shout out to Luca for Luca. I want to say Luca like Luca Doncic, but I'm gonna say Luca because they're looking at design. But shout out to Luca for this amazing article. I don't know if I did that in the beginning. Sorry that I'm skipping through and kind of piecing it together. It's my video. Get over it. Anyways, why don't you guys like it? To be honest, there's not a whole lot to critique here. Not much has changed, yet the new logo feels less iconic than before. I don't agree, but okay. The ultra bold font trend we've seen this year isn't always an automatic improvement, unfortunately. That's a fact. Just because you go into Photoshop and hit that thick B and make your font bold, that don't mean it's better. Uh, I'm not gonna read into this. I can just tell you what I like and what I don't like off the rip. So RE Max, oh, it's a real estate franchise. I said a fucking car lot. Anyways, I like the color selection in the original one, though I do believe that red is a bit faded for my taste, so is the blue. I probably try and make it a more vibrant hue like it is in the new version, but I digress. I like the slash. I like the spacing of the letters. I probably would have brought them closer to each other just a tad bit and then left the spacing between the slash, the E and the M. I would have left that how it was. I like that spacing, but between the individual letters, I probably would have closed them together, brought them together just a tad bit. That's just me. Overall, I like that better than the revamp. That is way too close together. The letters are like they're not individual letters anymore. They're together. That's one word mark. You feel me? That's one stroke. Well, maybe two or three, but I don't like that. Way too close together. And they tried to go for a negative space type thing with the E and the M, trying to like take out the slash, but still keep it there and slash the letters instead. I hate that. The little balloon right there is cool. I feel like if that's their logo, I like that. I don't know what it symbolizes, but it looks cool at least. Herman Miller, not interested. Alpin, not interested. Open AI. Oh, it's more than 10? Or is this okay? This must be an honorable mention. AI, AI, AI. I could talk about this platform, this program for hours on end, but I'm gonna keep it strictly logo, strictly design. Create the world's most boring and least original logo. He wrote a prompt. Create the world's most boring and least original logo. Be sure to include no interesting or distinguishing features and make sure my brain feels at least 80% smoother after having looked at it. This is the actual prompt a designer used to create OpenAI's new logo, or it probably was. Um, I mean, they just took away the logo, which I'm not a fan of. But moving on, I'm gonna hop from this article to some of my favorite ones that I have acquired. Too many of these to go through. Um, okay, I'm gonna hop from that article to talk about the Orlando Magic. I'm gonna see how far down it is. All right. Well, I can see some of these comments here. Jerseys are clean. The jerseys are clean. I will say that. And then I like the marketing scheme of them. It gives throwback. It looks like a vintage jersey ad from the 90s. As far as the font goes, not too many colors, nothing going on in the background. It's literally just black and white and then boom, jerseys. So I like that. I like the simplicity of that and the homage to how marketing used to be in the NBA. Jerseys go hard, logo is minimalist, but that was expected. Clean look though. Yeah, that's a fact. I'm not liking that shift in the NBA. Though minimalistic or minimalism is one of the design trends that's kind of been taken over, not just this year, but the past few years. A lot of companies are going, especially in the NBA, but I'm gonna get to that. A lot of companies are going from, intricate, well thought out, detailed logos. We talking a lot of colors. Um, if you want to break it down, there's probably a lot of anchor points, or a lot of anchor points, a lot of layers, just a lot to the logo. And when you go minimalism, you kind of just delete a lot of that and make it as simple as possible, make it as flat as possible, try to minimize the amount of colors, the amount of letters, the amount of empty spacing. Well, you can have empty spacing, but you just eliminate a lot of the extras. And that has been a thing with pretty much all of the NBA logos. Like that could be a separate video in itself, the downgrade of NBA logos. But being that this one just happened this year, and I feel like the Magic's logo is one of the most iconic ones of the NBA, and it's actually been one of the ones that's lasted the longest too. Like the Magic doesn't really change their logo. It hasn't been one of those organizations. I like that they kept the stars. The stars are iconic for the organization as far as branding goes. I like the font. I like the basketball front and center. I like it. It's not terrible. I've definitely seen worse NBA logos. And the jerseys help a lot. The jerseys are clean. It's nothing like those vintage original ones though. You know, the original Magic jersey. They ain't touching those. Magic got some of the best jerseys in NBA history, period. So these are nowhere close. But they kept the pinstripe. They stayed true to the colors, and they stayed pretty much true to their brand identity. So I'm not hating it too much. All about to make these jerseys iconic. Facts. Actually, not fire. On Pinterest search, Nike basketball logo. Definitely stolen the design and just extended the center line. Hold on. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Hold on, bro. Say it ain't so. Ignore what's on my Pinterest feed. I draw inspiration from a lot of different places. Say it ain't so, twin. I don't see it. Unless he's talking about that first one. I mean, I kind of see some similarity, but oh wait. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh wait! Oh wait! Hold on. What are we doing? If you turn that bit sideways, it's the same thing. Minimal updates, add some stars, take out the Nike check, and you have your new Orlando Magic logo. That's not it. Wow. Expose him. That's not a good look. Can I get a date on this upload? I don't think Pinterest does that. It doesn't show you when something was uploaded. But that's not good. That's not good. All in all, I don't hate it. You know, they expanded upon it. The joke, the jerseys, the jerseys look clean. I can't be mad at it. Anyways, on to the next. I said I wasn't going to harp. I'm not about to harp. Shout out to Luca.com. I actually want to shout out whoever wrote this article. Just in case they ever see this. By Oliver. This was published yesterday, actually. Wow, shout out to you, Oliver. Um, actually I'm gonna go to images instead of going through somebody's article. Uh, what's new? This PayPal one is certainly something. I actually hate this. I'm gonna be real. I hate this. Let me tell you why. Move this out the way. So I feel like the double P. Pause. Pause. I feel like the double P is iconic. You got one in a darker hue, one in a lighter hue. We intertwine them in that little corner section that you see right there. You get an overlap, and it's just that the overlap area is just a bit darker than the other two. It's just, and then you got pay in one hue, the darker hue that appears first, and then the POW and the lighter. It just is it's awesome. It's awesome. This is what I was talking about earlier with minimalism hurting brands. There was no need to strip the PayPal of all its uniqueness, all of its identity. You took his colors away, you took his logo away, you took the slant away, the italicized font, and the font looks the same. It's just not in italics anymore. But you took away all his swag. You took all the swag away. Like, like no. It's virtually the same, but just no. No, at least keep the blues. We've had these blues probably since the inception of PayPal. We've had these blues, so that's a no-no for me. Um, The Sims. This is a minimalism that I don't hate. I don't play The Sims. I've had ex-girlfriends that have played The Sims on my consoles, but I don't play Sims, so I don't really care about this. But um, actually, no, I don't like it. I was sitting here trying to make myself like come up with a reason as to why it's good. No, the first crystal is cool. I'm pretty sure in game it rotates and stuff and shines and it's really cool. Like above that crystal is above each, I guess, person's head. I don't know if it's above animals. I don't really know what it is, but I know that that crystal somehow is like essential to the Sims. So when you take the lighting away, there's no lighting in the crystal. It's just flat now. The negative space cuts in the diamond are supposed to, I guess, give the idea that it's turning and it's spinning and you're able to see. Just no. I hate that. Why would you do that? Hurts. This is cool. Oh, I'm gonna get to that Phantom one. Best believe. I'm about to get to that Phantom one. So, Hertz, trucking company or moving company, whatever it is. I think I don't know what year that's from. I'm gonna guess and say early 2000s, maybe 90s, but that seems a bit too old for the drawn drop shadow effect, right? That seems a bit too old for that. That was more of like a 2000s type thing. Um, but I really, really like that. The drop shadow helps the hurt stand out. It's italicized. It kind of gives like a comic book vibe, like it's jumping out at you. It definitely grabs your attention and keeps you locked in. I like the choice of font. Not the biggest fan of that R there. Um, Yeah, there's really not too much to say about it. It's straightforward, it's to the point, it's simple. It is flat, however, it has elements in it. The outline, the spacing, it looks good. And when you go to the new one, um, I see they made it into a shape. I'm always a fan of that when it comes to logos, so I don't hate the shape thing. What I will say is the the font choice is questionable. What I do like is that they kept the RTZ thing where it's like the R goes into the T and the T goes into the Z and it zigzags down. That's cool. They made it less italic, less of a slant, so it's less dynamic, in my opinion. The font is all skinny and noodly, and it's round in some areas. Um, I'm just not a fan. Well, I'm not a fan of the overall. The overall logo is cool, I guess, worse than the original, but I'm not a fan of that font. I feel like if you kept the original font and threw it in there, then it probably would look a bit better. And then you could go with and without the box and still have a word mark that stands alone. Because when you take that box away from the Hertz, it's not good. It's not good. Fanta, Fanta, Fanta. Don't let Mountain Dew pop up because I'm gonna get to it. I'm not ranking these either. I'm just giving my opinion. It's way too many to rank, and I don't feel like it. Look at how they massacred my boy Lamborghini. Why would you do that? Look how they did Fanta, gang. Like, look at Fanta. Look at the old Fanta compared to the new Fanta. The old Fanta is in a circle, so it fits. It fits in profile pictures. It's clean. It's crisp. The font matches the shape of the circle. It's round. The font is nice and thick. It's uneven in places, which adds to it. I feel like when you have rounded logos and rounded letters and fonts, they don't need to be all symmetric and having the same thickness all throughout the letter. When you have when you're representing a fluid, a liquid, your logo can stand to be fluid too, just to match your product. So I feel like the old Fanta logo did a great job of that. It has a lot of fluidity. Um, I've never really understood what the leaf is for, if that's what that is. But I mean, it's cool. In the new logo, they definitely wanted to give that comic action vibe. And you see the original circle, orange circle in the back. So it's like the word mark Fanta is shooting out of the circle and kind of like onto your screen. That's cool. It makes it look more fun or whatever, but no, it's nothing like the original. I'm gonna do a couple more of these and then I'm done. Um, Jaguar. Let me tell you how much I hate this one, boy. I watched the same guy that broke down the Walmart logo break down the Jaguar one. I believe with this logo rebrand, I'm not sure if this is the plan of the entire company or maybe just a division within the company. But Jaguar is looking to enter the e-vehicle. I don't know, race. It's not really a race because there are already electric vehicles on the market, on the road. But Jaguar is looking to pivot in that direction. If I'm not mistaken, it's the company as a whole and not just a division within the company, which is why they felt the need to change the logo of the entire company and have it match the new direction that they're trying to go in. They wanted to look futuristic, look sleek, smooth, and kind of go in the e-vehicle direction. No. Look at this. Look at this iconic logo. I mean, this is one of those ones that's like a hood ornament. Like you could put it on a hood and it's the Jaguar. Man, what? The Jaguar is in motion, it's in flight, pouncing on this prey. Like, that's hard. It's chromatic, it's sleek, it's shiny, it's luxurious. It matches everything that the Jaguar brand wants to give. And then you take all that away and put a J and an upside down J in it's not even a closed circle. Just ew. And what is that nasty rustic mustard color? The same with Lamborghini. I'm not sure what direction they're trying to go in, but why would you take all the swag, the suave, the I don't know, it's just why? This is a case of minimalism being bad. This is where it's bad. Why would you take away the gold, the chrome, the badge? It doesn't even look like a badge anymore. It's just like it just looks like you circled the text and the bull. You took all the details away from the bull. Half of it is just a white clump with no lines in there, no nothing. There's shadows up in there. That looks amazing on the actual vehicle. Same with Jaguar. When you put their actual logo on a bumper, on a hood, in the grill, in the wheels, in the steering wheel, like what? I don't want if I had a Lamborghini, sure, I'm driving a Lamborghini, but I don't want that on my car. Give me this one. Give me this one if I got a choice. Give me that one. But yeah, Gap, no. Robin Hood, sure. I think I pretty much covered a majority of the bigger ones. Famous Amos just took away the white. Okay. Mazda, yuck. Phase, yuck. What the fuck? Yuck. What is this? They rounded it. They rounded it. Hell nah. And I think that's where we can stop for today. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and this is a little bit different than my usual content, but I do want to lean into this more. I'm probably gonna make another one of these, so be on the lookout. Subscribe if you're new, like the video, like the channel, share with your friends. Let me know what you think. Let me know your favorite rebrand out of all of the ones we talked about today in the comments. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you would fix. Let me know if there is somebody who needs a rebrand. Maybe we can do a video rebranding some of y'all's worst portrayed companies. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. Talk to me. Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.